So when it comes to anime, there's this certain phase that I always go through that I'm sure many of y'all can relate to. It's not just specifically related to anime, but when it comes to anime specifically, it always happens to me without fail. You know, you've watched all you wanted to watch, and now you want to start a new series, but you don't know what to start. So you end up just not watching jack shit. I've been going through this for a while now too, but the one series that helped me break out of it was none other than Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. So I'm hearing a bunch of news. I'm seeing all the memes on Instagram especially. So I finally decided to watch it, and now that I'm caught up, I really wish I would have caught up way sooner. Like, what the hell was I waiting on? Because my god, bro, that was like the best season of anime I've watched in so long. It's been a while since I've seen an anime that purposely makes me lose sleep because of how good it is. I mean, the fighting, story progression, Akutami, bro. First, that's a funny name. But bro, you're really cooking with this right now. At first, like a lot of people, I had an okay feeling of the first season. Like, I mean, it was good. Even the fights in there too. But I don't know, it was something about it that didn't really grab me. Like, I liked it. It just wasn't the best among the other anime that I've seen in that period. Now that I caught up to the second season, that shit had me like this. If you haven't watched it yet, god damn, I thought I was late to the trends. You acting crazy. But seriously, I want to go over some of my thoughts on the show right now. And I am going to get into spoilers. So if you really haven't watched it, then your wonder was right there. But no more BSing. Let's just get right into it. One thing I like about this series is that they have a lot of really well-written characters. I'm not even just talking like power-wise. Like, everybody has strong characteristics, mentalities, and just ways of expression. Like, even when a good bunch of them don't get screen time compared to others, we still see and learn a lot about them. And when they do come on screen, it feels like it matters. Everybody has unique positions, struggles, things that they shine at, and it's always nice seeing it unfold. Like the whole incident with the mole in the school, and then when the episode moves on, we realize now that it was actually Mekamaru, and then we learn more about him. And I honestly forgot about this dude. I forgot the whole deal with him having a separate body and how he's pretty much everywhere in a sense. So it's like, yeah, that nigga fishy. It checks out. And then we move on to that fight that he had with Mahito. That nigga got on my nerves. I mean, let's be real. Look at the setup. He's not making it out of here alive. But at the very least, I was hoping that he could take Mahito out with him. But I mean, it ended up how it ended up. And it was a really entertaining fight to watch. It was really cool. Now let's take an example of low-hanging fruit. I know, but let's just say Naruto. You have really cool side characters with really cool powers, but ultimately nothing was done with them. And it really sucks looking back on that story. While it isn't something that I like to see personally, just like with Chainsaw Man, they aren't afraid to get rid of characters that you think will last longer in the show. It's pretty fucked up, but it does make the future of the show somewhat unpredictable. And even though I feel like this is something that we see more in media, still, it's not something that you expect. At least not often. Man, they fucked me up good how they did a certain character. I like a lot of JJK's characters, but the one that I messed with the most was my man Nanami. I mean, the amount of cosplayers you see trying to beat him just shows you how cool he is. Not only was he mad strong, but the attitude, the mentality, his fit, everything about bro was exquisite. Even his voice. If I was the opposite gender, let a nigga try to spit game with that much bass in his chest. He don't even gotta say much. Pennies will be off in milliseconds. I don't give a fuck. I'm not afraid to admit it. Kenjiro Tsuda has the greatest voice. I mean, there's no debate about it, bro. And this is why I felt so defeated when they showed his final moments. Like, he couldn't even beat the small fry no more, bro. They wore him out. At least he went out like the G that he is. RIP my nigga Nanami, bro. The fighting? Yo, the fights really took my breath away. Like Choso and Yuji. I thought I was watching Enter the Dragon or some shit. They was really boxing. The choreography was just so good. And I love how the fighting is not just about brute strength or raw power. Like, you gotta be clever, know how to use your powers all out the box and shit like that. Like, stuff like that actually makes it to where, like, somebody like Nobara can put up a fight against somebody like Mahito when you wouldn't think so. or no so. We don't know how it ended up. I mean, damn, bro, that hit me good too. Like, you gonna take my favorite character, now you gonna take baby girl? I thought she was essential. The fights can only be this good when you have such depth to the power system. It can't be about brute strength. It's about genetics, which is even worse. But the thing is that everything has an exploit, and the way that they get figured out and how each person tries to defend against it makes it so interesting. Like, my favorite fights, all fights throughout the whole season are really high intensity and really good, but my favorite ones had to be Dagon versus the sorcerers. Like, Naobito, I wasn't expecting. I mean, every time you got a drunk guy dressed like this, mad laid back, you already know he's able to fuck shit up. And then again, Chozo versus Yuji. Like, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was not expecting them to square up like that. And then of course, we got Todo and Yuji versus Mahito. Man, I know it had to be done on purpose. I hated Todo a little bit when he was introduced, but honestly, besides Nanami, 100% he's up there as one of my favorite characters. Like, he's just a homie, bro. And every time he's on screen fighting, it always goes crazy. Now, I can't not talk about the villains. See, with me, it's very rare for a villain in a show to make me feel anything more than annoyance. Because we already know how the show's gonna go, right? They're not gonna beat the main character or nothing like that. Off the top of my head, Toguro is the only villain I can name who actually made me feel uneasy for the main characters. But with this, we got Mahito, Jogo, whose redemption went fucking bonkers. We got Geto, whose power is just too catastrophic. It's just crazy to me because I feel like damn near all villains are able to just wipe out the current sorcerers. Like, I'm really hoping that they get this shit together, bro. Especially because that fight with Sukuna and the untamable Shikigami, these niggas got no hope, even with Gojo. I'm not reading the manga right now, I'm just watching. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but he's scarily tough. Not even just him, but the one who really put fear in my heart was the character who gave all the female fans the wettest of dreams. This nigga Toji. I'm getting chills just saying his name. Toji. Look what he did to two of the best sorcerers in the world right now. With ease. And he came back and did damage, bro. Like, he had me shook. If anybody in the show is broken, it's him. How are you that strong? Can you imagine a fight with him and Sukuna or him and Untamable Shikigami? Like, I feel like he'd probably lose, but you can't tell me that would not be the sickest fight that you would see. I also want to touch on a little issue that I feel like is going on with the show too, and I want to recall back to this old interview Akutami had, right? Where he once said that he didn't know how to write female characters. But honestly, I gotta say, like, these are some of the best written female characters I've seen on like a broad scale in an anime. From the stuff I've seen, so many female characters get stuck in the same basket, even when I feel like they shouldn't. Like, again, just going off the top of my head, because it's so easy to recall, but like with Naruto, right? You got so many good female characters, but they're just delegated to being, like, generally helpless, useless, weak, or just left behind. But I think JJK's female characters break that, at least to some extent, because they do get a good amount of screen time. But not even just that, they still strong enough to fight alongside the guys. They still got room to keep growing. Not to mention, they bad as fuck. By the end of the second season, all but Tsukuma are put on the back burner, so I don't want to glaze too much. It's not that groundbreaking, but you do gotta appreciate that we have female characters that can keep up with the fight, have strong personalities, and at the very least, decent goals that they always push forward for. So I think it's cool. Honestly, the whole female characters in anime situation as a whole is just kind of weird. I can honestly make a whole video on this topic alone, but honestly, I just think it's the way it is. Definitely take my opinion lightly because I don't know nearly enough about the anime industry or how it works than you think I know. But personally, I feel like not enough mangakas make stories where the female characters are written with so much depth. I'm sure there are a lot, especially given the trends and adaptations lately, but I still feel like it's a minority. Then you got to take into the fact, you got to take the fact into account that only some series from the bunch can survive as a series, and then even less can make it into the spotlight for an anime adaptation. But again, I don't have enough information on this, but if y'all willing to see a video on this, I can definitely prepare myself for one, so just let me know. But that's just what I think. Other than that, man, I really enjoyed season 2 way more than I thought I would. Like, it makes me want to jump into the manga now, but I already have my foot in so many other series, so I know I'm not gonna have time for that. Like, I'm hella far behind on One Punch Man, but I definitely plan on catching up to that. I love that show, man. That gave me the same feeling as Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, so maybe we'll see. The thing right now with JJK is that as an anime fan, you get desensitized to what you watch pretty quickly. Like, when you've been watching it for so long, when you've been watching anime for so long, you just realize how shows follow similar formulas, or they ride on the coattails of something that made itself unique. So unless you're in your first year of watching anime, it just starts to hit less and less. But this show here, like, I can literally drop anything I'm doing just to watch the show. And I don't have that feeling with any other series right now. And I haven't felt that way about a series in mad long. As per usual, I want to hear from y'all, so let me see them comments. Just please don't tell me something I shouldn't know as an anime watcher. If you read the manga, keep me surprised. But thanks for watching if you made it all the way through. Don't forget to sub to your boy if you want to hear me discuss more stuff like this. And if there's any other topic that you want to hear from me, just let me know. Put it in chat. I'll be watching. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So y'all stay up, and I'll see y'all later.